Hi, I'm Lisi Lilienfeld, a product manager on the Products for All team at Google.
And I'm Rain Michaels, a design lead on the same team.
And I'm Lindsay Hayes. I'm a revenue lead on the news and publishing team at Google. In this video, we're going to discuss the topic of reaching diverse audiences as a news organization. Reaching a diverse audience with your news coverage is critical to helping your publication build trust and connect with your community. But first, how do you define diversity? And how do you ensure that your coverage can reach all audiences? At Google, we looked at 12 dimensions of diversity: race, gender, geography, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, language, sexual orientation, religion, age, culture, disability, and experience. At Google, we don't look at these dimensions in isolation. We also look at how these dimensions intersect, giving us a much fuller picture of who our users are. In this video, we'll focus on 3 of the 12 dimensions of diversity that we just outlined: age, language, and disability. And we'll share ideas on how news organizations can include audiences along these dimensions. First, let's talk about age. Younger audiences are 35% more likely to say they watch news online instead of reading. People who prefer to watch the news say it's because they find it easier and more engaging. Short-form video like YouTube Shorts can be a powerful channel to tell your stories in video formats for younger audiences. Here are best practices to get started with YouTube Shorts. Use strong visuals, unique audio, or a compelling story hook in the first 3 seconds. Use visuals as the core content and language as added context. Language-agnostic content can make your content relevant to YouTube's 2 billion users. Add hashtag shorts to your title to help the YouTube algorithm recommend your shorts across YouTube. Younger audiences value authenticity. Creating community not only builds trust, but helps your audience build habits with you. Here's 3 best practices on how to build community on YouTube Shorts. Use traditions like quirky phrases, nicknames, recurring bits, and inside jokes. Respond with video replies to comments to extend the life of your content while creating more content. And focus on uploading videos on a regular schedule instead of uploading a high volume. Lastly, if you already have an archive full of video content, you can repurpose it for shorts. Create videos that highlight long-form videos that can still be standalone content. Add in new perspectives to old clips to give viewers a reason to rewatch. Write descriptive titles. For shorts, descriptions and tags are less important. Another dimension of diversity is language. 60% of the world can speak more than one language, and translating your existing content can help you reach more audiences that are already in your geography or that might be interested in your content. If you cover a community that speaks another language, building trust will go a long way in building a long-term relationship. From our work with thousands of news organizations globally, publishers have often told us these best practices help them get started. First, conduct surveys at grocery stores and community centers. Second, survey your audience in their preferred language on what they need, their existing news habits, and what platforms they use. Google Forms is an easy tool to help you send surveys. Lastly, collect just email addresses in newsletter signups. Some communities might not be comfortable sharing their names, and having just one field can also make it easier to sign up. And if you already publish in more than one language, here's 3 best practices to increase your site's search traffic. Use the same language throughout a page, like in articles, navigation, and ads. Use different URLs for translated pages. Allow people to change the page's language, like in a dropdown at the top of the page.
Another dimension of diversity is ability. Reading is difficult for at least 20% of the population. Many conditions can affect reading: dyslexia and other learning disabilities, ADHD, and low vision, just to name a few. For people who have difficulty reading, looking at an article can feel like being overwhelmed by a wall of text. But there are small changes which can make your content more understandable and enjoyable for people who have difficulty reading. And these small changes can enable you to reach and engage a larger audience. We're going to share best practices on how you can improve the readability of your content just by making small changes in typography, text structure, and visuals. I'll talk about typography, and then Rain will tell you about the rest. In general, the more space you give your typography, the easier it will be to read your content. Use font sizes of 14-point or larger and code them with dynamic font sizes. Dynamic fonts allow the text to scale up for people who have increased the font size setting in their browser or device. Larger text is easier to read, and it just works for more people. Set the line height to 1.2 or larger, again using relative sizes. Adding space between lines can make it easier for your eyes to stay on one line and keep your place. This is important because fixed sizing can create unreadable text if your reader is using larger font sizes in their system settings. Emphasize text using bold or highlighting. These are better than italics, which change the shape of the letters and squish them together. Align the text to the left, or for right-to-left languages like Arabic, align text to the right. This is more readable than justifying or aligning center, which can make it difficult to follow the flow of a line, find the next line, or keep your place.
You can also make your content more accessible to people with reading disabilities with clear text structure and visuals. Break up chunks of text. Comfort your readers by breaking up an overwhelming wall of text, and share one idea at a time. Consider covering just one concept per paragraph. Another way to help readers understand multiple ideas is to make each idea a separate bullet in a bulleted list. Add what are called headers or headlines above a section of text. Headers make your content easy to skim, which helps readers decide if it's relevant to them or to look for a section quickly. Headers also prime your audience for what you're about to introduce, making it easier for them to understand the information that follows. Add boundaries or space to show which content is related and which is separate. People with low vision or visual processing disabilities may have a harder time recognizing when one idea ends and another begins. Creating boundaries with lines, boxes, and white space can make your content more readable. Add images or emoji. Being able to figure out what a word means depends on cultural knowledge, context, and the surrounding words. Some people can understand your content better when there are visuals that reinforce the text. The visuals could be images, illustration, or even emoji. This can also help people who are learning a new language, like if they see a word that they don't know. With these tips, you have the power to expand your audience by making your content more accessible for the 20% of people who have reading difficulty. That is all for today. We hope you found this video helpful. If you're interested in understanding other ways that your news organization can work with Google, we provide in-depth coaching for groups of news organizations through our Labs program. You can learn more and apply on our website, g.co/newsinitiative/labs. Thank you, and please send us any questions or feedback at contactgni@google.com.